Sonny Barger. The name alone conjures images of roaring Harleys, leather vests, and a life lived on the edge. As the founder of the Oakland chapter and the face of the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club for decades, Barger became a cultural icon. He was both revered and feared. He represented the ultimate outlaw, a symbol of rebellion against societal norms. Barger's life was a whirlwind of brotherhood, crime, and counterculture, leaving an indelible mark on American history. This is the story of Sonny Barger and the Hells Angels. Ralph Hubert Barger, later known as Sonny, was born in Modesto, California, in 1938. Life wasn't easy. He grew up rough around the edges, surrounded by hardship and poverty. His father, a dock worker, left the family when Barger was young. This forced his mother, a bookkeeper, to raise him and his older sister alone. Barger's rebellious streak emerged early. He dropped out of school in the 9th grade, yearning for a life beyond the confines of traditional society. He found solace in motorcycles, their raw power and freedom resonating with his restless spirit. This marked the beginning of his lifelong love affair with the open road and the brotherhood it promised. In the 1950s, motorcycle clubs began to spring up across America. Returning veterans, searching for camaraderie and adrenaline after the horrors of war, found solace in these brotherhoods on wheels. Barger, drawn to the allure of rebellion and brotherhood, joined a small motorcycle club called the Oakland Panthers. However, he quickly grew disillusioned with their lack of direction and discipline. In 1957, at the age of 19, Barger, along with a handful of other riders, formed the now infamous Hells Angels Motorcycle Club, Oakland chapter. The name was inspired by World War II bomber squadrons, a testament to the group's fascination with military imagery and their embrace of a life lived on the edge. The Hells Angels quickly gained a reputation as a rough-and-tumble group. They were known for their brawls, their love of motorcycles, and their disdain for authority. The media, hungry for sensational stories, latched onto the Hells Angels' outlaw image, portraying them as a menacing force terrorizing the nation. This only added to their notoriety. In 1969, the Hells Angels' notoriety reached new heights at the infamous Altamont Free Concert. Hired as security for the Rolling Stones, the club was involved in a violent confrontation that resulted in the death of a concert-goer. The incident, captured on film in the documentary Gimme Shelter, cemented the Hells Angels' reputation as a dangerous and unpredictable force. Section 5. Inside the Brotherhood Codes, Colors, and Culture. Behind the headlines and public perception, the Hells Angels operated with a strict code of conduct and a deep sense of loyalty. Membership was, and still is, a lifelong commitment. The club's colors, a skull with wings known as the Death Head, became a symbol of rebellion and outlaw culture. Each patch and symbol sewn onto a member's vest held significant meaning. The Hells Angels' culture revolved around motorcycles, brotherhood, and freedom. They lived by their own rules, often clashing with law enforcement and society's expectations. Despite their outlaw image, within their ranks, they valued loyalty, discipline, and respect. Section 6. Barger as leader, charisma, and controversy. At the helm of the Hells Angels was Sonny Barger, a charismatic and shrewd leader. With his piercing blue eyes, booming voice, and commanding presence, he commanded respect from his followers. Barger was instrumental in shaping the Hells Angels' identity. He instilled a sense of discipline and organization, transforming the club from a loose collection of riders into a powerful and influential force. His leadership wasn't without controversy. Barger faced numerous arrests and spent years in prison on charges ranging from weapons possession to drug trafficking. Through it all, he remained a symbol of defiance, a lightning rod for both admiration and condemnation. Section 7. Myths and misconceptions. Separating fact from fiction. In this section, we delve deep into the myths and misconceptions that have surrounded the Hells Angels for decades. Over the decades, the Hells Angels have been shrouded in mystery and myth. Their enigmatic presence has fueled countless stories and urban legends. The media's portrayal of the club often blurred the lines between fact and fiction, sensationalizing their activities. This sensationalism has contributed to a skewed public perception. One persistent myth is that the Hells Angels are a highly organized criminal enterprise. This narrative has been perpetuated by numerous movies, books, and news reports. While individual members have engaged in criminal activities, the club itself maintains that it is not involved in organized crime. The organization insists that it is primarily a motorcycle club with a focus on brotherhood and riding. Another misconception is that all Hells Angels are violent criminals. This stereotype has been hard to shake despite evidence to the contrary. While violence has been a part of the club's history, many members live relatively law-abiding lives, holding down jobs and families. They are mechanics, business owners, and even community volunteers. The truth, as is often the case, is more nuanced than the headlines suggest. The reality of the Hells Angels is a blend of both myth and fact. The Hells Angels are a complex and multifaceted group, defying easy categorization. Their internal dynamics and individual stories paint a picture that is far more intricate than the simplistic labels often applied to them. Section 8. Angels of Death or Misunderstood Rebels. The Hells Angels have always walked a fine line between outlaw culture and mainstream society. Their presence is both a challenge and a fascination to the public, who often find themselves torn between admiration and fear. Their defiance of social norms and their embrace of freedom have both attracted and repelled the public. They live by their own rules, often in stark contrast to the expectations of conventional society. To some, they represent the dark underbelly of the American dream, a symbol of lawlessness and violence. Their notorious reputation is fueled by tales of criminal activities and clashes with law enforcement. To others, they are modern-day cowboys, living by their own code and challenging the status quo. This romanticized view sees them as rugged individuals who value freedom above all else. The truth, as always, is likely somewhere in between. They are neither purely villains nor heroes, but complex individuals shaped by their circumstances. The Hells Angels are a product of their time and environment, a reflection of the societal anxieties and countercultural movements that shaped America in the latter half of the 20th century. Their rise coincided with a period of significant social upheaval and change. Their story is a reminder that freedom often comes at a price, and that the line between rebellion and criminality can be perilously thin. The Hells Angels continue to be a symbol of this delicate balance, embodying both the allure and the danger of living outside the norm. Section 9. The Hells Angels' Mark on American Culture. Despite their outlaw status, the Hells Angels have had a profound impact on American culture. Their image has been embraced by Hollywood, immortalized in films like Easy Rider and The Wild One. Their rebellious spirit and outlaw aesthetic have influenced fashion, music, and art. From leather jackets and bandanas to motorcycle rallies and tattoo culture, the Hells Angels' influence can be seen in various aspects of contemporary society. Their story is a reminder that even those who live outside the lines can leave an indelible mark on the world. Section 10. Barger's later years, from outlaw to icon. As the years passed, Barger's public persona softened somewhat. He continued to lead the Hells Angels, but he also became an author, penning several books about his life and the club. He became an advocate for motorcycle safety, using his platform to promote responsible riding and raise awareness about motorcycle rights. He also became a vocal opponent of drug use, speaking out against the dangers of addiction. In his later years, Barger remained a complex and controversial figure, but there was no denying his impact on American culture. He was a living legend, a symbol of rebellion and freedom, who had left an unforgettable mark on the world. Section 11. The Legacy of Sonny Barger, forever in motorcycle history. Sonny Barger, a name synonymous with the Hells Angels, left an indelible mark on the world of motorcycling. Sonny Barger died in 2022 at the age of 83. His passing was not just the loss of a man, but the closing of a significant chapter in motorcycle history. His death marked the end of an era, but his legacy continues to loom large. Barger's influence can still be felt in the rumble of engines and the camaraderie of bikers worldwide. The Hells Angels, though facing challenges from law enforcement and internal strife, remain a powerful and influential force. Their resilience is a testament to the strong foundation laid by Barger and his contemporaries. Barger's story is a reminder that truth is often stranger than fiction. His life was filled with moments that seemed to leap straight out of a novel, each more incredible than the last. He was a man of contradictions, a ruthless outlaw who valued loyalty and discipline, a cultural icon who both embraced and rejected the spotlight. His complex personality made him a fascinating figure to both admirers and critics alike. Love him or hate him, there's no denying that Sonny Barger and the Hells Angels have earned their place in the annals of American history. Their story is woven into the fabric of the American counterculture. Their story is a testament to the enduring allure of rebellion, the power of brotherhood, and the enduring mystique of the open road. The legacy of Sonny Barger and the Hells Angels will continue to inspire and captivate future generations of bikers and rebels alike.